We're live. We're live on Facebook.
Right. All
Hey,
right. Hello, everybody. Hello. How's it going? I'm glad that y'all are able to tune in for our Business of the Month Facebook Live show. We are actually here today we have Shanette Williams. She is going to just blow your mind. I'm telling you, this is stuff. I keep telling people I'm a baby in the game. I'm still learning, so
Yeah.
stuff is just like, I cannot wait. Look, it's on. So, but also we have Jay on the line as well. He's going to be co-hosting with me and everything.
Hey.
In the background, we'll probably have Rachel in the comments. She's gonna, just feed us questions and everything. So please feel free to ask questions. As well as we have Tia in the background. She's also going to be talking to a few folks, kind of sharing this and everything. And let's see, Tia. I just name off all of our team all the time. So we got Tia. We have a new member to the creative team, Tamara. She is joining us on the team, and so we're very happy to have her. We also have Leif Taylor. He's going to be hopefully tuning in today. He was like, "Do we have a meeting today?" I was like, "No." No. So who else I'm missing? I'm missing somebody. Latrice. We have Latrice, our African business specialist. I think that's about it, right? I think that's everybody.
Yeah, I think you named all. If ever some comes to my mind, I'll let you know.
I know. All right, Jay, man. So what we're going to do is go ahead and kick it off. Like I said, I want to introduce Shanette from Kheirloom, right? Kheirloom
Yes.
Investments. Kheirloom Investments. So I want everybody to really get to know you. So just real briefly, I want people to know who you are and kind of a little bit of your background.
Okay. Well, my name is Shanette Williams, of course, and by trade or by profession, I'm a registered nurse. But I also have a love and a passion for real estate. So I became interested in real estate years and years ago when my mom first purchased a multi-unit apartment building. She took me along for the experience. I got to watch the entire transaction. I was just a teenager at the time. And I remember her explaining to me, like, okay, you can do this before you purchase your house. So like you can use the rental income from the apartment building to pay for your mortgage and to pay for the building itself. So really, I knew a lot more than I thought I knew even back then just from that experience. So once I really got serious into real estate over the last couple of years, everything just started connecting. I start remembering all those things and stuff like that. And so it's funny because I'm actually getting ready to house hack myself. And what house hacking is you buy a multi-unit building, you live in one unit, and you allow the other units to pay for the entire thing so that can free up your capital so you can do other things with it. So I'm actually in the process of downsizing my house to rent it out for cash flow, add it to my portfolio, and house hack for a little bit. So, yeah, but I love real estate for several different reasons. And it's not just for financial gain, but and wholesaling is what my company, Kheirloom Investment, does. In wholesaling, a lot of people think, well, aren't you taking advantage of the homeowner? No, we're not. Because if you think about it, if someone is in a property that they can no longer afford to keep up, if they're behind on the mortgage or taxes, they have repairs that they can't afford, we actually offer them a solution. So we're actually helping that homeowner. Some of these homeowners are desperate to get out of these situations. So in a lot of cases, a wholesaler can come in, purchase the property from them, And in some instances, you can even pay the rent for that homeowner for 3 months, 4 months, or whatever you come to an agreement on. And you'd be surprised how much you can actually change somebody's life. You can save them out of a bad situation. And a lot of times, some people will be faced with actually losing their home, but because we've purchased that home from them, we've kind of rescued them from that process. So really, we're helping people more than what a lot of people realize. Some people put a bad kind of stigma to wholesaling sometimes. Now, there are bad actors in anything that's out there. So I won't say that there aren't any, but overall, that is what we do. We try to help people out of their situations and things like that, and provide real estate solutions for them. So the bigger part, excuse me, our business, of course, is wholesaling, and even Kheirloom Investments. And a lot of people say, okay, where did that name come from? So to me, it's kind of personal. So I think about all the time. I'm a grandmother of 2 now. I have a 5-year-old granddaughter and a 3-year-old grandson. And my son is 27. So I'm at the age where that is like a priority for me, to make sure that I'm building a solid foundation for my sons, and I have a 19-year-old stepson as well, for my sons and my grandchildren and their children. So I'm like, okay, yes, I'm a successful nurse. I do well as a nurse, but that is not going to cut it. It's not going to build generational wealth for me. So that's another reason why I'm into real estate as well. So not only that, but I'm teaching my sons the same thing. So not only am I doing it, I'm teaching them how to do this. And even my 5-year-old granddaughter, even now, we'll be riding in the car. She's like, Mimi, well, look at that house. There's a house. Like, she's already at 5 years old, like learning the verbiage and things like that. So to be able to pass this knowledge down to them is another big thing. But you have to start thinking about generational wealth and things like that. The world is changing, and it's changing fast. And so I want to build my legacy and to make sure my descendants are better prepared for the future. So that is part of why we're doing this. But Kheirloom, the word itself, of course, everyone knows what heirloom is. It's to be passed from generation to generation. So my grandchildren, both of their names begin with the letter K. So I just took the K, added in front. So Kheirloom is where I got the name from. And it is very sentimental to me, because it kind of symbolizes what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to accomplish, and things that I plan to pass on. Even after I'm dead and gone, this will still be going on. They can carry the torch, and so forth and so forth. So that's kind of where the name comes from. So I've had a lot of questions about that name. So there you have it. There you have it.
But what's awesome about that, and I deal with a lot of branding and advertising and stuff. So it's very neat, you just won't see anything else out there with that name. So I love it. I love the idea.
Yes.
I love the story behind it as well.
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful name. I love it. I thought, even though you didn't explain the name, I thought Kheirloom sounds pretty cool. I mean, I would see a website, Kheirloom Investment. I'm like, man, this sounds so neat, professional. I need to check it out. So definitely, guys. And by the way, Shanette, congratulations for your grandsons and what you're building.
Thank you.
And this is very important, building that generational wealth, because this is actually breaking the cycle of poverty within our community, and people take this type of initiative. It really, if you want, anchors down Black excellence, and that's what we are promoting with the magazine. So, guys, property over purses. Wow. What an article. For those who haven't read that article, I'm telling you, you're so out of this world. You have no idea about the game that you're about to know, the game that will be revealed to you, especially in real estate. And by the way, Shanette Williams is one of our educators. She will start very soon giving you these insights about how you can leverage with little capital the best strategies from real estate. So,
Right.
and definitely, if you haven't subscribed yet to access the magazine, the August issue that gives you access to this article, you're missing out big time. Big time.
So, we have so much coming up, and I'm very excited. And like I said, Shanette, I'm very excited to have you on board and everything, just teaching us and showing us these things that will help us, like Jay was saying, build this generational wealth. That's
right.
We got to get out of this mindset. You said something that, you were saying that your mom started teaching you at an early age and stuff like that. Be able to take one property, basically paying off two at the same time,
Yeah.
Multiple, depending on how you structure it. But see, these are things that I never knew. Like, when I was growing up, all we knew was, hey, we go to school, go to college, get a good job, house, get a family, blah, 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 so the whole investment idea really didn't come into play until like my later years. I was just like, man, I wish like, I would have known a lot about that, just growing up, because that would have been a game changer. There's a lot of things that I could have probably set up at 20, instead of just going the regular thing, because and you come across having some money. There's times in your life you just have a whole bunch of money, you don't know what to do with it.
Yes.
Being in Vegas, I had a great job. I was just I was sitting at home and I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do with this money. I didn't gamble. I didn't want to gamble it away either. So, but like during those times, those are opportunities that were missed. So, man, I'll tell you.
And I'll say also, I had some stumbles because, like you, I was at a point where I had a lot of money. I was doing well in my career. I was in the military, came right out, became a nurse. So I got so wrapped up in my career as a nurse. I had been wanting to be a nurse and things like that, that I totally put everything my mom taught me about real estate, like, to the side on the back burner. When I wish I would have taken it more seriously early on, but I didn't. So at 27 years old is how old I was when I built my current house that I live in right now. But had I been thinking and made a smarter move, I would have done what she said. So instead of getting a mortgage, I would have bought a multi-unit and house hacked for a couple of years and did that, and then allowed it to pay for my home. But we live and we learn. So that's why I'm here now to kind of, teach people some ways to kind of shorten their learning curve. The things that I've learned, they can learn from my mistakes as well. So, yeah, definitely.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Beautiful. So, I don't know if you had another question for Kevin or.
Yeah. I was going to go into this a little bit, so I was going to ask you, so we already talked about the name. Now, I want to also know, like, what region or state do you actually service?
So I'm based out of Indiana, but I can do deals all over the country. So definitely. I'm tied in with buyers and sellers all over the country. So if you live in Connecticut, New York, or wherever, we can get the deal done. So, yeah.
Oh, that is awesome. That is definitely awesome. And so, okay, so what type of houses do you actually, invest in or purchase?
So when I say on my website, you'll say it says any house, any condition as is, and we totally mean that. And when I say from a hoarder house to a total dump or a trash house, you name it, a lot of times we'll give you up to at least 10% of whatever that deal is. So if we make $10,000 on that deal, we'll give you $1,000 just for sending us an address, and a picture of a house. And if we close on it, we'll keep in touch with you in the loop. So it's not like we'll close on it and not tell you. No, we'll keep in contact with you with that property. So a lot of times it's as simple as that. You don't even have to do the actual job of the wholesaler. You can just go out and find vacant properties and things like that, or properties that look run down, or you can talk to your neighbors, talk to friends, talk to people at work, anybody that wants to sell their home quickly for cash. You can give us that information and we'll give you a percentage of that deal. Like I say, 10%, sometimes more, depending on what the deal is. So that's one way you can get into wholesaling. And a lot of times by doing that, some wholesalers will even teach you their process. You know what I mean? So you can also leverage that as well. So that's a good way to get into the game. And that doesn't cost you anything, because most people, you're going to work anyways, you're going to school anyways, you're going to the store anyway. So these are properties you don't even realize until you start looking for them that they're out there. And you'd be surprised just having conversations with people. You'll say, well, I just had a conversation with someone the other day and they're like, oh, my uncle really wants to sell his house, but he doesn't want to do, things like that. And there you go. So another way is there's a lot of information out there. I'll say that. A lot of people know about YouTube University. There's a lot of free information out there, but you just got to kind of sift through and know what to kind of go off of and things like that. But wholesaling, it's a simple concept, but it takes time. And if you're coming in with no money, it can still be done. You have people that'll go out and knock on doors, you know what I mean? Vacant properties. You can leave notes on the doors, you know what I mean? You can call, you can look up the phone number. There's free sites out there where you can get a phone number to a person's property and call the owner and just talk to them. Are you interested in selling your house? Things like that. So I'll definitely go more into that, into the course and show people how they can do that and things like that. And if they want to partner with me with deals and things like that, we can discuss that as well. So definitely.
Beautiful. Definitely. So guys, you hear it. Shanette is open for business. So basically, I'm somewhere, let's say I go around, I'm, somewhere, I guess, in just Miami, Florida, or some place that has been hardly hit by the recession and the economy.
Right.
I go into this neighborhood and I see a bunch of vacant property. All I do is give you a call, and if you have some good clothes, I get a percentage.
Yes, exactly. And that's it. Now, who can't do that?
Exactly. Who can't do that, right, guys?
Yeah.
So this is the kind of quality and insight and strategies we bring in this magazine. It's beautiful. This is beyond amazing.
Exactly. Look, I'm gonna be calling you tomorrow. Look, I got a few houses, but I'm just looking like we can make some moves.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. All right. Next question is, how is real estate a stepping stone to a financial stability and security?
Yes. So real estate is a stepping stone because I always look at a job, and even me, I feel like as a nurse, for the most part, my job is secure. I can pretty much go anywhere and get a job. But at the same time, I always say, these jobs are not loyal. They're just not. They can lay you off at any time. They can fire you, whatever. So what do you have after that? What if another recession comes and they have to cut back? What do you have in place to supplement your W-2 income for that? And I love real estate because the money you can generate with it. And for me, I love the buy and hold strategy. So yes, we do wholesale properties, but we also buy properties to hold them, to rehab them and rent them out long-term. So if you think you have 10 properties and each one rents out for $1,000 a month, that's $10,000 gross per month you get off of that. Multiply that by 20. And there are so many strategies that you can do. A lot of people don't understand. They're like, well, how do you make your money in it? How do you even get that property? So tax liens is another way that you can get properties for pennies on the dollar. I know a lot of people have probably heard of it, but don't know how the process works. I'm going to lay out every step of the process in my course, and I'm going to cover the information for every state in this country, because there's over 5,000 different counties in the U.S. So everywhere you go, it's different. So I'll cover for each state and what the requirements are and things like that in my course. But tax liens, so for instance, and I don't have a photo pulled up right now, but I did just get a property for $500. Literally, it's a 2,500 square foot house.
Wow.
4 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and has a detached 2-car garage. It sits with a perfect view of a park, a beautiful park. $500. Yes, the house, the interior is outdated. Who cares? It was $500. Who can't say $500? You know, so there are ways to get these properties. I'm going to teach people how to read the list, how to sort the list, how to locate these properties and things like that. So it's really, really interesting when you learn the tax lien process, and you can buy properties for as little as $500. There are some I paid a couple thousand for, but still, in the door, like this $500 property, in the condition as it is right now, is already over $50,000 without touching it, without rehabbing it, without doing anything to it. And that's, you know, in the area that it's in. But this is also in an opportunity zone. This property is in a downtown area that is scheduled for renovation. So in a few years, this property is going to be worth a lot more than what it is now. So that is why I like to buy and hold, and I'm strategic in where I purchase these properties. And so opportunity zones, I don't know if people have heard of that. I know a lot of people have, but to me, it's a great area to invest in, you know, and of course you got to learn, do your homework on those areas and things like that. But I'll kind of go into opportunity zones as well in the course and kind of explain to people the importance of investing in those areas and how it could be beneficial and things like that. But so yeah, I have multiple properties in the opportunity zone. And a lot of people say, well, aren't tax lien properties just all raggedy? No, they're not. Some are, but some aren't. I have another property that I paid $500 for, and it's run down, but it's a full brick building. And just the brick alone, it has a value already of almost $60,000. Just, you know what I mean? So just by itself, another one that's already worth $100,000. It's run down, it's ugly on the inside, but a rehab, I can put money into rehab, and I've already gotten, you know, estimates on a couple of them. They're going to be worth well more than the value. And to see what I paid for it at a tax lien sale is just like phenomenal. So I'll be sharing photos, and on my page also, I'll be going live a little bit more, kind of doing some walkthroughs so people can see that this is real. You know, this is actually real. And so I'll be teaching people how to do that and how to find those properties and things like that, and then how to get the money to get those properties. So yeah.
You know, okay, so when you talk about like just doing your due diligence and homework about the properties and stuff, like how do you know, like, you only know what you know, so
right.
Unknown things can, you know, you don't know that there may be a leak in the attic somewhere that can damage the entire roof or something like that. So how do you know about those type of things? Do you have like people that we should contract to look at the house and all this stuff, or how does that work?
So that's another thing with tax lien purchases. It can be risky, but that's kind of, you know, one of the things you get when you're buying these properties for pennies on the dollar. But there are some contractors, if you go talk to them and they think they'll be able to get that job once you purchase that property, don't go do a walk by. I mean, it's trespassing. You can't go on the property until you get the deed. But a lot of times the contractors, they can go and just do kind of like a walk by, and sometimes they go inside, but they can give you a general idea of what that property will need to be rehabbed, a general estimate of what it'll need and things like that. And some of them, just to be honest, I don't even care. If I can get this house that's worth $50,000, $60,000 for $1,000 or $2,000, if it needs a new roof, who cares? I don't care about that. You know what I mean? Because by the time I rehab it, I want to make sure the roof is solid anyways. You know what I mean? So by the time you rehab it and everything, get it reappraised, then you have a new appraisal value. So it's going to be worth even more than that anyway. So you're just not going to, you'd have to really come across a property that has a terrible foundation to really lose. You know what I mean? And so I always, before I bid on a property, I'm in front of that property. I'm driving there. I'm going to walk around, get as close as I can without trespassing. And I want to I'm looking for those things. And that's another thing. Like, I've taken some rehab courses, so that I can learn about all these things also. So I know what I'm looking at, so I'll cover some of those things in my course as well. Some of the things you need to be looking for when you're looking at these properties and things like that. So I always tell people also, yes, you can look these properties up online. There's different outlets you can go to, but never, ever, ever go by that. You always have to see these properties in person, because these online photos can be a year or two old. So this property can look nice online, but guess what? It just burned down 3 months ago. So you need to get in front of it.
And I'm a photographer too, so I know how to make things look good.
Yeah, exactly.
Picture, man, it look all nice and stuff like that. But
yes,
you go by there, you're like, oh my gosh.
Yes, definitely. So I'll have checklists for people in the group that they can download and things like that. Just, you can go to the house and just go down the line and looking at these things and, kind of get a good idea if this is a property you want to bid on. So there's a lot of people say, okay, well, I don't live in the area where I want to invest. Well, that's where networking comes in. Talk to people, reach out to people. Hey, I know you're in this area. Would you mind going by this property and taking a few pictures and doing a live video? I'll pay you X amount of dollars to do it or whatever. That'll save you a flight, a long drive, or what have you. There are people out there that will do that. And that's also another service that I offer as well. For my area, and especially I have quite a few properties in the Gary, Indiana area. So I go to check on mine regularly. So if I'm there and someone wants to bid on a property there, hey, Shanette, can you stop by this address, take a few pictures, do a live video so I can see what the area looks like in real time and things like that. Right. We can definitely work that out as well, because that is so important. You don't ever want to bid on something blindsided. And if you're not physically in front of that property or have someone in front of that property for you, don't do it. No matter how good the pictures look online, don't do it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it would kind of scare me, because it's kind of like buying stuff. I know Takia can buy some stuff online and stuff like that, but I gotta be there. I gotta act. Yes. I gotta feel it. I gotta, I gotta be there. Yeah, so that's definitely one of those things where I really have to be there too.
Right.
Awesome. So Shanette, I have this question. So, for example, Coindon, he has a hard time selling his house, but he doesn't want to sell it at a loss for cash. He wants to sell it, at potential value, maybe a little bit more. Can he reach out to you and can you network him with some potential buyers for his house?
Oh, definitely, for sure.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. And so Kheirloom right now is focused on residential property. Do you do commercial too?
Yes, we don't do major commercial, but we do small commercial properties as well. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Now, so aside from like you kind of building your own team as well, now do you work with realtors, and how does that relationship work?
Yes, and that's the key. Like, you have to network with a lot of different people. They can be your best friend in this industry. We can help them and they can help us. So it's a relationship business for sure. Relationships.
Definitely. Definitely.
So from contractors to realtors to attorneys to you name it, I have relationships with those people, and it really helps on both ends, both ways. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. So what are the top 3 mistakes that newbies make when they're trying to buy tax lien properties?
Not learning how to read the list and not double checking the parcel number. Every single house has a parcel number. There's a series of numbers, like 3 numbers, a dash, 2 numbers, a dash, 4 numbers, whatever. So that's called a parcel number. So you can look the house up by the address. But if you don't confirm that that parcel number matches the address, you just purchased something you don't want. And that is something they tell you in the very fine print. If they read it, it's your responsibility to make sure they match. These are humans entering this information into the system. So human error is very, very possible. So that is why it's up to us to make sure we confirm that information. So I'll show people the quick and easy way how to confirm and compare those two literally in a minute or two. So I'll teach people how to do that as well. But definitely that's one mistake. People don't compare the parcel number with the address to make sure they're correct. The second thing is, like we just talked about, people don't get in front of the property. They go by the pictures. They'll go on Zillow, Realtor.com, Truly, and they're like, okay, all these sites have good pictures, so maybe the house is good. No, I've seen it so many times. People literally crying in the tax lien office after the sale, and they're like, no, I see that's not what was. No, and they tell you it's your responsibility to go see that property. What about like Google Earth is the same. Google Earth is not updated, and it even tells you on there it's not, up to date. It's not real time, and there's privacy laws and why they can't do that. So I still use those platforms, don't get me wrong, because I use all of them just to get a general idea, the layout of the house, the neighborhood, what's in the area. I like to see if there's parks nearby, police stations, fire department, library, hospital. I look for all those things in the area. If it's near an expressway or a busy street or what have you, I look for those things, but I do not take the images that they have for the house for face value. I don't ever do that. I normally use those just to look at the area, the neighborhood, what the house looked like recently and things like that to get a general idea, but I don't take it at face value at all.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so with what you do and everything, and like, how does your time, like, because you have nursing, you're a nurse, so like time management, so how do you juggle it all? How do you do all that?
You know what? My life is crazy, okay? So I will not even lie. I couldn't today. Literally, we had last night a pipe bursted in my clinic, and so the clinic is shut down. We couldn't run any patients on dialysis today at our clinic. So they were up all through the night calling patients to reroute them to another clinic. So we had to go work out of another clinic with other patients already there, fitting our patients in. And so literally, I just got home before we started this, and it's just been crazy all day. So, and the job that I have, we don't have a set off time. Like some nurses have, they get off at 5 p.m. or whatever. I get off when my last patient is done bleeding, and that could vary from day to day. It depends on what happens during my day, determines how long I'm at work. So I do still work as a nurse full time. So I did just attend a fellow Coindon, Sis Shanika. She just held a Live Wired conference down in Miami, and Wired stands for Women in Real Estate Dominating. And so I attended a mastermind there, and I got a lot of great information. And so one of the things that really rang a bell with me was time management, how to manage your time and how to automate processes. So I've been fine-tuning those things, and I normally use my calendar for everything, but I've really been a little bit more diligent since I got back with that, timing everything. I get a ton of inboxes, emails, and things like that. So I've had to cut back. I can't answer every single one as soon as I get it. I have time blocks now that I use to respond to those and things like that. I have my work hours here, and then real estate, I literally time block every single thing. So now my life it was already running on a schedule, but now it's more so really, really time blocking things. So, and not just all over the place. And that is so important, because some days I just want to scream, but I love both. I love being a nurse and I love real estate. I will be phasing out of nursing soon, hopefully, but more part-time or PRN. PRN is just as needed, so I'll work when I feel like working. But because I really love real estate, and I'm passionate about teaching other people what I know as well. No, I'm not an expert or things like that, but I do know what I know. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on my education as well. I've gone to real estate school, not necessarily to be a realtor, but just so that I can have that piece of the education to add to everything else with my real estate investing as well. So I just really love, and the people that I work with, they can tell you, I'm talking to them all the time, trying to teach them this, teach them that, and things like that. So I love teaching. I was a nurse educator for a while as well. And so that's one of my, I love to teach. So, yeah.
All right. So Leif actually asked, how are you forcing yourself to stick to a time block?
Okay, so it's a mind game, literally. Like, my phone is blowing up right now, and I'm just like, don't look at it. Like, literally, I'm talking to myself, like, don't, you know what I mean? And a lot of people don't get, like, I'm up 3:15 a.m. every single morning. As a dialysis nurse, our patients are there early. They're there early. They start early. We have long days, early days. So I need to be in the bed like now, like 8:30. I need to have everything shut off. And that was my problem. I was answering emails and text messages and inboxes 9:30, 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I found myself getting 3-4 hours of sleep. And the next day I'm just like, why am I so foggy? So I've really just stopped, like at a certain time, my phone goes off. And for a while I was like, well, I don't want them to think I was ignoring them and things like that. But it comes to a point where you just have to cut it. And that's what I've done. I just cut it. I don't feel that obligation to respond right away to everybody, because I can't, because I have to work. I have to be, mentally alert for my patients at work. I'm pulling all their blood out of their body. Like, that's serious. I have to make sure I'm rested and, alert and attentive and things like that. And so I can't be staying up late doing things like that. So literally at a certain time. So for anybody out there, if I haven't responded to you, I'm not ignoring you, I promise. But, I have to get some sleep too. I got to get in the bed. I got to be up early, things like that. And it may be a few days before I get back to you, because there are some days. The other day, I was at work for 14 hours. When I got home, I didn't even want to look at myself. So let alone do I was drained. And all I could do was get in the shower and lay down, so it's one of those things. You just have to do it. You just have to do it. You can't feel guilty about not responding to things or not getting things done. I always tell myself, if it's a task that takes 10 minutes or less, just go ahead and get it out of the way and do it. If it's something that takes longer, then maybe I have to just wait until the next day to get it. So I've learned to prioritize things better and things like that. And it's literally just doing it. Like, you just have to stick to it. You have to write everything down, schedule things out, and stick to it, and just stick to it. And it works for me now. So, yeah. With the exception of tonight, because I should be in the bed now. But
we not gonna keep you on. Trust me, I put myself on a schedule, and yeah, that it doesn't. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get that down. So
awesome. Just want to now to me. I'm acquainted. I'm listening to this live. I was kind of hesitating. Man, should I do real estate? I read the article. It looks really interesting. Now I heard Shanette. I had the information I needed. I'm ready to get started. I'm ready to make money. I'm ready to be a real estate guru and make that money. But I don't have a lot of capital. Let's say I have with some savings and, revenue, I can gather up $1,000. I have zero knowledge about real estate, nothing, but I want to get started. What do I do tomorrow morning?
Okay, tomorrow morning, the first thing you can do is start researching. And, we talk a lot about, especially, it's a very popular term in cryptocurrency that we, talked about in the Coiner group, to do your own research. And that's serious. It's not to say that no one will help you, but you have some things you have to read and learn for yourself. So go out there, start researching what things are, start looking up different strategies and things like that. And a lot of people are afraid to invest in education. There is nothing wrong with investing in education. What I'll say is just make sure you vet, who it is. Make sure that what you're going to be getting is worth what you're paying for and things like that. And like I say, I'm not ashamed to say that I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on my education, because that's how serious I am about it. At this conference I went to in Miami, there are people who spent $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 on education, but look at where it's gotten them. So all of the information that I've gathered over the last couple of years is what I plan to share with people in my course as well, because I know even myself, it's like there are times in my life, and I shared part of this in the article, where I went through a rough time in my life, and I wished that I had access to this information and to be able to get started and things like that. And, I didn't. So I want to be able to offer people more than just tax lien information, because, okay, say you get a tax lien property. Now what? Now what are you going to do? Exactly you got to know what to do after that. You got to know how to do it. You need to know where to go, what people to look for, what to look out for, all kinds of things. So I literally want to give people the whole kit and caboodle, you know what I mean? To they can go out there and all the way back to wholesaling. You know what I mean? How to even get the money to get the tax lien, to get the tax lien to rehab it, to get the rehab to either sell it or to rent it out, how to do that, how to buy it, how to set up your LLC, how to purchase it out of your self-directed IRA to use as a tax savings. All of those type of things are important. And there's so many different pieces to real estate investing. You can't just get one piece, and to be successful, you need to know all of those pieces. So I'm going to kind of give people all of those pieces in my course to kind of help people shorten their learning curve, like drastically by years, awesome. So definitely.
This is another reason, guys, you have to subscribe. You want access to these gold nuggets information that Shanette's going to give you. She's going to teach you on the game, the real estate game. which for less than $500 or around that capital, how to get really a big foot and start leveraging these strategies and make the big bucks in real estate. So definitely subscribe. The channel will be available really soon, huh, Kevin?
Yes.
Yeah, we're working right now. We should actually have the platform up in September. So like I said, that's going to be joining us. We're going to get her all on the platform, as well as Ernest Gaines is ready to go. He's getting stuff together. So we have some phenomenal people coming on board, and Shanette's talking about investing in your education. Like, this is where it starts, right here. I mean, what WEkonomist magazine is doing, we are bringing like all this knowledge, all this information, and we're gathering it from everybody. It's not just us, it's about the we, all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So information that you have, information that person has, or whatever, we need to bring it all to this platform so we can start making moves. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to sit here and just, look at other things and, this person's trying to sell us another gimmick over here. We need to really know and source our material and put it on the platform.
Essentially, that's what we're doing. We're building this ecosystem, having successful people like Shanette, like Ernest, and we duplicate their success to you. That's what we're doing. We duplicate them, their successes, so you can go into whether it's real estate or trading, and you get to have your learning curve pretty shortened. So this is like a hack. This is a hack that we're providing.
Definitely.
Awesome. Last question I have for you, Shanette. Would you know about any website that you can refer to for someone who wants to do his due diligence and do the research for wholesaling? So if you have a couple of websites to recommend for that.
I will definitely say I really like the Bigger Pockets platform, and it's biggerpockets.com. They have all kinds of real estate education on there, and I love that website. Another thing I would suggest is to look into your local real estate investor and association. So they're called REIAs, REIA. So most every city or general metro area has a local real estate investing association. I am a member of my local REIA and my state REIA. I'm also a member of the local REIA for the area that I'm heavily invested in Gary, Indiana as well. So it's very, that's powerful stuff, because not only as a member, you're networking with people all the time. They offer classes. They offer all kinds of instruction. They have people from attorneys, CPAs, people who are flipping houses, wholesaling houses, doing subject to deals, so whatever you can think of in real estate, they're there at those local REIA meetings. So if you do nothing else, a lot of times they'll let you go to the first meeting for free. And like my membership to mine for an entire year, for me and my husband, it was less than $200. But when I tell you, you get so much education, and for $200 a year, like, you can't beat that. They have all types of classes and events and things like that. So definitely check out your local real estate investing associations. Just Google it for your area. Most every area has those. And but that is probably the best resource I can definitely say off top that people can go to. And a lot of them have, wholesaling events and things like that. I know my local one here, the nearest one is in Indianapolis to me. They have monthly wholesaling events and courses and networking events and things like that. So definitely check those out.
Definitely. Well, last question I also have is going to be, who is your target audience? Like, who do you want to really attract to your company?
I want to attract anybody who is looking for financial freedom. People that may not have a lot of money to start out with investing, people who are ready for a change, people who are ready to supplement their 9-to-5s and possibly even get away from that 9-to-5, people who want their freedom back, their time back, people who may even be in a tough situation and need a way out. One wholesale deal, just say a $5,000 deal, that can literally change some people's lives. You know, there are some people that'll do $10,000, $20,000 wholesale deals. That can change someone's life. That truly can change someone's life. So for me to be able to take all the knowledge that I've gained, all of the thousands of dollars I've paid in education, and bring all of that information back to be able to give it to you and one thing is like, that's my way of trying to provide value to the community as well, because you can go over here for this and that for there and this for this and all that. And I've done it myself. So I want to offer something like an all-in-one course to give people, you know, they can take this and hit the ground running. They can learn how to make the money, what to do with it, and so forth and so forth, you know, all the way down to, like I say, how to save on taxes and how to start your LLC and, you know, the benefits of doing that and things like that. So I want to attract those type of people. You know, I was in a position once where I needed a way out and I didn't have this information, you know, and things like that. So looking for, and of course anybody, but I really would like, you know, for people who feel like they don't know where to start, they don't have money to get started, they don't know what to do, and they're afraid, I don't want to have to take this course and then another and this and this. So here it is. I'm going to offer you all of that in one course. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, Shanette. I really, truly thank you. And thank you for being a part of this whole movement and mission that we're on. And again, like I said, I am excited to have you on our platform teaching. I think Jay has something for you. This is something that we do for our Business of the Month. So I wanted everybody to know what we're going to be doing for Shanette. Go ahead, Jay.
All right. Definitely, I'll get to that. And just going to do a little recap. We don't want to hold Shanette too long. She has to go to sleep. She's waking up early.
I'm okay. I'm off tomorrow. So, yes.
Tomorrow. Okay, so guys, sit back, relax. We're riding till midnight. No, just kidding. So, guys, to do a recap about what we discussed tonight, we just had a lot. Thank you so much, Shanette, for sharing.
Thank you.
And just a tiny little bit of window of what you're gonna teach, and that already is enough information for those who wants to get started. They know what to start making money. You really made it clear what's the path to the money. So first of all, you may have $0 and you're not feeling like you want to learn some new stuff because you know you're too busy. You walk around in your neighborhood, you see a house that's up for grabs, you know, whether it's a repossession or whatever it is, give Shanette a call. This is an opportunity for you to get some money on some commission. If there is a transaction and a sale, and you're going to get your commission so you can start making money right now, today, tomorrow. And then, you know, let's say you want to get in the real estate game, you have a little bit of money on the side and you want to get started. It's a very important, do the due diligence. You know, go and do your research. And there's these websites that has been recommended, biggerpockets.com, your local real estate investment association, every major city, every major urban area. So go do your research there and get familiar with, you know, where you see yourself going in that real estate, very lucrative universe. And also, again, Shanette, one of our educators, subscribe to the magazine. She's gonna put you on some really lucrative game, and you don't want to miss out with the information she's gonna have, because in this success game, it's about what you know.
Yes.
It's about what you know and who you're networking with. So that really determines your success.
Yes.
And subscribe to our magazine, $97 a year. Believe
Yes.
for what we're about to offer, it's really pennies on the dollars. It's on the dollars. You're gonna get a whole lot information worth millions of dollars.
Yes.
For pennies on the dollars. And to the part Kevin was referring to, so a little earlier, we have dropped what we did for the Profit Room, which was our July Business of the Month. So you saw the video. We at WEkonomist magazine, all about the we need to grow collectively. So we're committed to the success of businesses like Kheirloom, the Profit Room. We want to make them shining example of Black excellence. And this is what we're going to do for Shanette tonight. Shanette, you're getting yourself a promotional, high quality, professional video for your marketing, your branding, your advertising, so your business can stand out even more from the competition.
Wow. Thank you. Yes.
On being the Business of the Month. And I can't wait to start working on your video. I have some beautiful real estate templates, by the way. I think it's a good thing. So you're going to love it.
Awesome. Great. Thank you.
Definitely congratulations. And thank you so much for sharing the article we read. The article, I definitely recommend it. You guys to go ahead and read it. You have to.
Yes.
And subscribe to the magazine.
Yes.
And thanks everyone for joining. So do we have any last questions in the comments?
I didn't see anything come through. Nope. And if we missed anybody, we'll definitely go ahead and make sure we comment afterwards. We'll have the replay and everything, like I said, on our Facebook page. We're setting up a YouTube, trying to get all of our videos on there, and as well as our website. Website changed to WEkonomist.com, okay? WEkonomist.com. All right, so other than that, that's it. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
So have you guys a great night. Thank you for joining us. So we'll be back next week for, I believe, the sponsors.
Yeah, that's Shanette again.
Shanette will be back with us next week.
This is because we didn't touch her article this week. So next week we're gonna break some of these things down, and we're gonna talk about that article because it's blowing people's mind. I can tell you that. Right now.
Absolutely,
definitely. All right.
Awesome.
Well, I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a good night.
Okay, good night.
All right. Good night, guys.